A very good evening. You're joining with Prime TV News. I'm Vibudha Vijay Bandaran. First, let's look at today's headlines. President says the law should be strictly enforced against the drugs racket and environmental destruction. Prime Minister refers to the government dedication to development in Jaffna. Speaker claims that the motive of everyone should be to build a law-abiding and just society. At least 9 are killed in a bus accident in Peru. President Maithripala Sirisena has emphasized that the law should be enforced, disregarding positions if anyone is involved in the narcotics racket or in the destruction of environment. The President laid this emphasis addressing the Anuradhapura District Special Environment Conference at the Salgado grounds. President Maithripala Sirisena, who visited Anuradhapura to participate in the Anuradhapura District Environment Conference, paid obeisance to historic Jayasree Mahabodhi and received blessings. Thereafter, he called on the Atamasthanaadhipati, Venerable Pallegama Sirinivasa Thera, and engaged in a brief discussion inquiring into his well-being. The President launched the Anuradhapura District Environment Program, planting a sapling in the premises of the Anuradhapura Walisinghe Harishchandra grounds. Anuradhapura District Secretary R.M. Vaninayaka presented a report to the President containing the identified environmental issues in the Anuradhapura district and the solutions that can be found. The President also distributed fruit plants amongst school children of the district. Thereafter, President handed over grants required for the planting of 1,000 mi saplings in the village affiliated to the Manevkanda village at Ipologama in Anuradhapura. The handing over granted on behalf of a fruit cultivation project in Padikagama Model Village in the Medavache Divisional Secretariat Division and the distribution of 5,000 rainwater tanks to the people of the Anuradhapura district also took place under the patronage of the President. Namal Udarapiyasiri, who had won an international award for his innovation of a machine for the removal of the water hyacinth plant for the cleaning of the tank network, came in for appreciation by the President. Addressing the government conference, the President pointed out that the improper disposal of garbage was the main reason for the destruction of the environment. The President mentioned that the protest launched by the people was a key obstruction in the implementation of state plans with regard to a proper garbage management program. Special attention has been focused on the issues encountered in the export of tea. The attention was drawn during a discussion held under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. The President has appointed a committee to undertake a study and present solutions to issues affiliated to the tea industry. A discussion on the wage issue of workers engaged in the tea industry was held under the aegis of President Maithripala Sirisena. The President appointed a special committee to present solutions after studying the short and long-term issues related to the tea industry, including the wage issue of estate workers. Accordingly, President's Chief of Staff HMP Hitisekara, Secretary to the Ministry of Plantation Industries J.A. Ranjit, Secretary to the Ministry of Labour R.P.R. Rajapaksa, Secretary to the Treasury Dr. R.H.S. Samaratunga, Chairman of the Tea Board W.L.P. Vijayawardena, Commissioner General of Labour J. Vimalavira, Chairman of the Tea Small Holdings Development Authority, a representative representing Planters Association of Ceylon, Sri Lanka Tea Factory Owners Association, Sri Lanka Tea Brokers Association and Tea Exporters Association of Sri Lanka have been appointed to this committee. The committee report should be submitted to the President within a month. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said that the United National Front was making a massive dedication and major focus on development in Jaffna. The Prime Minister emphasized that development will be carried out according to views and agreement of the MPs in the area. Premier Wickremesinghe made these observations vesting several development projects of the Jaffna district in the people. The Prime Minister first vested in the people the new divisional secretariat at Kopai in Jaffna. 40 million rupees was spent on its construction. 6 newly constructed divisional secretariats have already been opened in the Jaffna district. 6 more are under construction. Expressing his views on the occasion, the Prime Minister pointed out that the government expected to make the people's service more efficient by granting these physical facilities. A group including Minister Vajira Abewardena, State Minister J.C. Alavathuwala and Parliamentarian Dharmalingam Siddharthan was present in the occasion. In the meantime, the Jaffna District Review meeting was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at the Jaffna District Secretariat. Giving his views on the occasion, Premier Wickremesinghe said that his prime intention was to bequeath an upgraded standard of living and a better future to the people of the northern and eastern provinces who were battered by the war situation by accelerating the development activities. Speaker Karu Jayasuriya has said that the motive of everyone is to build a law-abiding and just society. He made this observation joining in a function held to mark the 30th anniversary of PAFREL. The function was held at the Bandar Naik Memorial International Conference Hall. Its theme was a peopleized vision for a democratic era mission. PAFREL was launched under the leadership of Dr. A.T. Aryaratne. Speaker Karu Jayasuriya said that institutions such as PAFREL made a vital contribution for the conduct of a free and fair election in the past. As such, everyone as citizens of this country want to live in a law-abiding and just society. PAFREL Executive Director Rohan Hettiarachchi pointed out that it is the duty and responsibility of the political leadership to build an upright political environment. He said that in the next decade, they would take the leader with the political and religious leadership, state officials, trade unionists, media personnel and the citizens to effect a change in the political culture in the country. He said that PAFREL is geared to take the lead in this respect. Expressing his views on the occasion, Chairman of the Elections Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, mentioned that the Elections Commission appears on behalf of universal franchise. Those who are supporting that is the customers, the citizens of the country, political parties and politicos and election monitors, state institutions and state officials, as well as the Elections Commission and its officials. There is no debate as to what election has to come. Firstly, the provincial council election should be held. If that is not held, he said that they are waiting to know as to which election will be held. He added that the presidential election cannot be held until the 10th of November. 72 Sri Lankans who had gone to France illegally in a fisheries trawler are due to be brought to the island today. Operations Director of the Fisheries Department, Kalyani Hevapatirana, said that they would be brought to the island in a French aircraft. These Sri Lankans had left the island from the fisheries harbour in Negombo last month. They had reached the Iranian island in France through a multi-day fisheries trawler. Authorities of the country took action to apprise the Fisheries Department in Sri Lanka in this respect. There are 8 women and 5 children in this group. The multi-day fisheries trawler belongs to a fisheries businessman of Chiloe. However, it is reported that the pilot of the fisheries trawler had committed this conspiracy without his knowledge. The owner of the fisheries trawler had lodged a complaint with the Negombo Police and the Criminal Investigations Department in this respect. The principal of a leading girls' school in the Galle area, apprehended with regard to soliciting a bribe, has been remanded until the 25th of this month. She was remanded after being produced before the Galle Chief Magistrate. She was arrested while accepting bribe of 100,000 rupees to admit a student to grade 1 of the school. The arrest was made by officials of the Bribery or Corruptions Investigations Commission. The suspicious principal was ordered to be remanded after being produced before the Galle Chief Magistrate. Minister Ravi Karunanayake visited the Commission to investigate bribery or corruption to give a statement with respect to the central bank bond scam. The minister arrived at the Commission to investigate bribery or corruption after he was summoned to the Commission. Reports said that a statement was recorded from him for about 2 hours. Perpetual Treasury's owner Arjun Aloysius too arrived at the Bribery Commission on Tuesday to make a statement. 2 persons sustained critical injuries after a motor vehicle went down a precipice in the Katugashin area. A motor vehicle plying from Kandy to Rikilagaskade area met this accident. There are obstructions to the movement of traffic following the heavy misty conditions prevailing in the eastern slopes of the Central Hills. A slippery situation prevails on the road due to the heavy rainfall experienced during the evening. The motor vehicle had gone down a precipice in the Katugashin area, and the 2 who sustained serious injuries have been admitted to the Kandy hospital. Police have called on drivers to switch on their headlamps when driving in the Central Hills during the afternoon due to heavy mist conditions. 68 kilograms of Kerala cannabis have been recovered from a luxury vehicle in the Maradana area. The police said that the market value of the whole of cannabis exceeds 7 million rupees. This vehicle had collided against the overhead bridge at Maradana early this morning. The whole of Kerala cannabis was later recovered during a search operation. It is reported that several parcels which were in the vehicle had been transported in a three-wheeler. Also, several suspects in the vehicle had fled. The police said that an operation is underway to apprehend them. Windy conditions over the island and surrounding sea areas are expected to decrease gradually by today. According to the Department of Meteorology, several spells of light showers are forecast in the eastern, north central and Uva provinces and in Mullaitivu district. The Department of Meteorology said that the windy condition is expected to decrease gradually over the island and surrounding sea areas by today. The Met Department forecasts showers or thunder showers at a few places in Sabaragama province and in the Galle and Mathura districts after 2 p.m. According to the Department Meteorology, showers or thunder showers may be experienced at a few places in the sea areas off the coast, extending from Galle to Pothuwil via Hambantota. Winds are forecast northeasterly and wind speed is expected to be between 30 to 40 km per hour in the sea areas around the island. The sea area of the coast extending from Mana to Balapitiya via Colombo and the sea area of the coast extending from Mathura to Betiklu via Hambantota can be rough at times as the wind speed can increase up to 50 to 55 km per hour at times. Naval and fishing communities are warned to be vigilant in this respect. With local news, the International Conference on Future of Women 19 commenced today in Colombo.
The conference was convened by co-founder and managing director of the International Institute of Knowledge Management, Isanka Gamage, and was chaired by Professor Anita Singh, Centre for Women's Studies and Development, Banaras, Hindu University in India. This year's theme of the conference was issuing a productive message for the betterment of the world. Professor Anita Singh expressed her views on this occasion.
Despite the global efforts at changing things, we have laws in order in each country, and look at the participation of women here and even men. So it goes on to say that things are not really right. So we have in most countries sexual harassment at workplace. We have seen a widespread global movement, Me Too movement, that was also very popular, became very popular and widespread, and raised quite a lot of concern and alarm in India regarding sexual harassment at workplace. Violence, domestic violence still continues unabated. So there's so many issues that we need to still address.
With that, we end local news. Moving on to biz news. The Colombo Stock Exchange announces the appointment of Mr. Dimuthu Sanja Abesekara and Mr. Murtaza Jafarji as directors of the CSE board with effect from 1st February 2019. Mr. Dimuthu Sanja Abesekara serves as the Director CEO of Asha Philip Securities Limited, which is affiliated to Philip Capital Singapore, a specialized financial services organization managing assets worth over $35 billion with a network of offices around the world. He is an experienced capital market professional counting over 30 years in the industry. Mr. Abesekara is also a director at Asha Financial Services Limited, a specialized margin trading company in Colombo, and is a past chairman of the Colombo Stockbrokers Association. Murtaza Jafarji is the chairman of JB Securities and has over 25 years of experience in the capital markets across multiple asset classes. He serves on the board of Nations Trust Bank PLC and Serendip Hotels PLC as an independent director, and also served on the board of the CSC from August 27 to July 29.
The benchmark all-share price index gained 1.98 points, close at 5,932.45, while the S&P Sri Lanka 20 index gained 2.76 points, close at 3,043.41. The turnover was 160.31 million rupees, with 8.2 million shares changing hands in 2,180 trades. The market capitalization at the end of the day was 2,772.87 billion rupees. Top 5 gainers of the day were Blue Diamonds non-voting, the finance company non-voting, Satasa Motors, Anilana Hotels, and Aitken Spence Hotels Holdings, while the top 5 losers were Morrison's non-voting, the finance company voting, RIL Properties, Asia Siaka Commodities, and E-Channel A. Today's foreign purchases were 97.3 million rupees and foreign sales were 3.3 million rupees. And there were no crossings today.
With that, we end today's Prime News. Prime News will return tomorrow, and in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news at home and overseas. Have a pleasant day. Good night.